Hello and welcome to The Entrepreneurs on Chronicle Radio, the show all about inspiring people, innovative companies and fresh ideas in global business. Today's programme is a gastronomic and hospitality adventure. First we'll meet a married couple who left their well-established lives in southwest London to start over with a winery in Provence.
We risked everything, so we'd never made wine, we didn't speak French, we had 3 children into a lot of pressure and couldn't get it wrong.
Later, we'll head to Vancouver Island to hunt for a treasured culinary ingredient with the help of some furry friends.
It doesn't take long for Caesar's nose to jab at the ground just above the truffle as he and his tail points out a black paragourd that he's been trained to sniff out since he was a puppy.
And I'll be joined by Monocle's Fernando Augusto Pacheco with some hospitality news. Faye, what's on your radar?
Okay, and we're going to move to about the 16 minutes in. They're going to hear a little bit more.
You're listening to The Entrepreneurs, to Vancouver Island now, where an experiment in farming is turning a culinary luxury into a thriving local enterprise. The highly prized Perigord truffle, more often found in southern Europe, is now thriving on Canadian soil. In this report, Lucy Hislop meets Virginia Britzka, whose forward-thinking approach has made her family farm the first in Canada to cultivate the precious black truffles, with a little help from her Lagotto Romagnolo dog Caesar and mini pig Clarence.
Well, we got Clarence as a mini pig about 5 years ago, and it was our son had always wanted this mini pig, and we thought, well, you know what, mini pig and truffle hunting, let's do this thing. So Clarence came to our farm. My husband and I decided we wanted to go on a truffle hunting date in the plantations, and right away Clarence was the winner. He found the truffle instantly. And so Clarence and I are struggling because of course Clarence is pig-headed and he wants to eat this truffle, and he's squealing, and Pete comes running and Caesar comes running to see what's happening.
Right.
And here it is, me and this little mini pig having a wrestling match, and let's just say Clarence got to eat his truffle, and we realized that mini pigs aren't the best for hunting truffles. I know in Italy you'll see a lot of farmers that have missing fingers, and now I know why. So he's no longer a fancy truffle hunter.
With Clarence firmly retired, it's Caesar that's in charge of scouring the 40-acre forested farm in Parksville, with Mounts Arrowsmith and Moriarty as its backdrop, the result of 2 decades working out just which tree would work best for the prized truffles here on the West Coast.
So when we started, we tested hundreds of varieties of trees. So we inoculated them, and then we had to wait a year to 2 years and look at the roots of these seeds that have been growing and see if they're actually hosting. And what, when you say hosting under a microscope, that looks like a little nodule on the root. And so if they hosted, they were a candidate for truffle production. We had a few trees. We had the paper birch, we had the hazelnut, and we had the Gary oak that hosted beautifully. We also had some of the evergreens that did too. Next step was to now put them in the ground and see if they would produce. We did a little trial project, and after a few years we realized that the Gary oak and the hazelnut were the 2 producing trees, and that's what we grow on our property today. The hazelnut produces a sweeter truffle than the Gary oak, and the texture of it is a lot finer.
Along with those trees and the farm's broad-breasted turkeys, Rhode Island red chickens, and Katahdin sheep, there's a symbiotic nature to creating the perfect conditions for the elusive truffle sought by the local chefs, some of whom have even helicoptered over from Vancouver to take them home for expectant diners.
When we brought the black Perigord truffle to the island, we realized that we needed to amend our soil, or pH. So we have a few things that we do to amend our soil. We have chickens and chicken tractors. And so a chicken tractor is like a frame that is like open from the bottom, and we pull them along up and down the rows of the plantation. And as they eat the grass and bugs, they end up changing the pH and help amend our soil. And then on top of that, we need to lime our soil to get down to that 7 pH that we need. somewhere between 6.5 to 7. The sheep, they help us with cutting grass, of course, because when a truffle is brooding, it burns the grass with its off-gassing, which creates a little brown patch. And with the sheep cutting the grass, it gives us the opportunity to have the dogs smell the truffles and kind of hones us in on where the truffles are ripe and fruiting. Hunt, Caesar, come on, let's hunt. Let's go. Come on.
As we head out among the oaks and hazelnuts to inspect the wood wide web, it doesn't take long for Caesar's nose to jab at the ground just above the truffle as he and his tail points out a black paragourd that he's been trained to sniff out since he was a puppy. At its height, the farm can scoop up a wheelbarrow load of the prized, expensive underground fungi in its British Columbian season. Some as big as a palm, others the top of a thumb in size.
So a lot of people are surprised that the Vancouver Island can host truffles. We have wild truffles here. I believe it's an Oregon white, but we don't know of a lot of people that have cultivated, and the black paragourd is so superior. Elba white is in our near future. We have planted some elbas, and we're into year 3 with Elba white. So it'll be a few more years to see if we'll be producing. They're still hosting. We dig up little bits of the roots to see. However, time is going to tell.
Steps away in the Britsky's kitchen, local chef Nick Mackay-Finn of Pepper Custom Catering cleans up the truffles before shaving and pairing it with Dungeness crab, beef carpaccio, and even blackberry cheesecake.
So good. So good.
The fact it's only a couple of minutes out of the ground, rather than days across the ocean, is everything to him.
I heard the term the other day, jet fresh, in meaning that it's picked completely underripe, ripens on an airplane, and then gets here. It's almost 2 completely different products. You have a tomato that smells like a tomato. You have a truffle that smells like a truffle. You have the ability to kind of support local and eat in season, and in turn you get a better product for it. We have really nice summer truffles, beautiful, aromatic, almost buttery in smell, a little bit, I guess, lighter of a flavor. Kind of, I guess, the difference between a red wine and a white wine. Still very full-bodied, delicious, and almost creamy in smell. And we have a couple winter truffles as well, really pungent, really kind of forefront in flavor. I find those kind of pair a lot better with the beef carpaccio that we'll be doing today, whereas the summer ones I kind of like to use more for seafood than the crab.
Robust and sweet, every bite has more than a hint of the forest floor and pure tenacity. Even the nearby turkeys seem to applaud. For Chronicle, in Parksville, Vancouver Island, I'm Lucy Hislop.
Thank you for listening to this.